Yo guys, welcome back to another video, and as you can see the team has switched up from last time. The initial straight strat we used the Mob and Broly instead of course this and of course the Chloric Stone. But this time we're switching up, we're using Dofi and we're Chloric Stoning Griffith because the team works a lot better with that. And as you can see by the score, we made a big increase, big increase, 3k, that's a large increase. So this team is definitely a lot better, so hoping you guys have this team, and I've seen a few comments of people saying, please make a strat without mobs, so I guess this is the strat for you guys. So, you can see this team does work very well, so let's just get into this run. Okay, so I left the iron spells on the bottom right. I want you guys to pre-select your spells and then reset. But of course, you're going to be running Griffith as well, so you can also select or pre-select your Griffith in the irons what's calling world item menu when you click Correct Stone. So yeah, just get those two things ready when doing this strat. So do those two before the run and then play a run out normally how this video does it. So of course place Umas, double rest and put 2 stats in, and place irons. You don't have to do that because of course the spells are pre-selected. You place Griffith down and you of course use his ability, and then now you use Uma, keep doing Uma stats. And now you're gonna place Doflamingo and make sure you use his ability on auto. Place your Perona as well. And what's nice about Doflamingo is he's gonna protect all your units, making sure that Griffith demons can't sell them, which is very nice. We place a Prona back here as well, making sure you can slow these guys as well once they do lose the initial slow from Prona. Yeah, just be wary of course, the stats. You're gonna be following the stats for humans at all times. And now you're gonna be setting your Griffith to last, but I do switch him back to first for a short period so I can kill these guys. But you're gonna sell your Dolphy and then place 3 Dolphys over here, making sure you use the abilities 7 seconds apart, because there's a bit of wind up time between them. So yeah, it's about roughly 7 seconds. You can go a bit long, maybe 10 seconds between each of them. But you want them to be roughly activating, of course, 8 to 10 seconds apart. I didn't really time it well because it was my like second run of this time. I think so far today I've done like 6 runs. And most of my runs over the last like few days have been failures because Eclipse demons just mess up my run. So yeah, on top of the Uma RNG, there's a bit of extra RNG with of course Griffith, so it's kind of a bummer, but you have to deal with it if you want to get a good score. Because you can see the score on the top, 2.6k, and we go to 3k, so the large increase is definitely needed. And then you place Brock down, of course do Brock's buff as well. You can just spam the keys until you get 40. Well, you can't really see it because the text is covering it, but you only get 40 on the little UI on the bottom. And now you're gonna max 1 Dolphy first. You could of course do 1 by 1, but it's better just to get 1 up first to full AoE, or pretty much max upgrade before you of course put the upgrades into the other Dolphys. And I did kind of make a did I make a mistake? Was it here at this point? No, not yet. But yeah, you want to make sure that you don't place your prawns inside Dolphy's range because, of course, you won't be able to sell it after. You can see how much damage we're doing to this boss. It's pretty nice. Give me Doflamingo. And yeah, you're trying to keep slowing the boss as soon as he leaves your... Well, of course, your Dolphy's range. Just keep slowing him with Prona. That spare Prona over there. So anytime you see the slow effect just disappear, you just kick slow on him. And yeah, just let the Iron Summons and Umas just wear down at him. And yeah, once Dolphy is maxed, you're gonna get a Stolf already. So you, of course, Hippogriff over here, making sure you go through a lot of enemies. And you wanna be going through roughly 40 enemies at a minimum, because that allows you to get the full buff on the Stolfo. And of course, the next time you just Hippogriff him over to the Doflamingos. And here we get a Stolfo 2, of course, the spellbook upgraded because we want to be applying a spellbook to our Doflamingo. After we get the spellbook off on him, we're gonna of course use his ability. So look, spellbook on the one that's already maxed out. Let's do these Uma stats and then we use Dolphy's ability. String Dominion. So now the tentacles have of course the highest damage they can have. And it does make a minor difference, but still helps a bit, you know. You have one tentacle at the front, one tentacle at the next bend where the enemy index is at the top, and then it's like 5 spread out through the back. And here I'm just upgrading the Doflamingos equally one by one. Because, yeah, why not? I'm pretty sure they do get cost reduction even though it is not a clone. Pretty sure the cost reduction still works for them. Unless I'm mistaken, you know. You guys can correct me on that. Yeah, you can see the cost reduction does work. Each time you put upgrade in, of course, to one of them, the other one gets discounted by 1.5%. So yeah, doing them one by one is the best if you want to get them maxed a bit earlier, you know. Because that 1.5% keeps adding up eventually. And for the total amount of upgrades you put into them, of course it makes a notable difference. And yeah, at this point it should be maxed. Well, after of course like a short period right now. It should be maxed around now. So going into wave 21, all your Dolphins should be maxed. And now you can auto upgrade your Umas. So auto upgrade onto your Uma Musumas. I don't see the whole name, I don't know. But yeah, put your upgrade into your Umas. And this is the mistake you don't want to make, so make sure you don't do the same thing. Well, I guess you can play the run the same as me, because the run did work pretty well. So yeah, place your... I don't know why my brain turned off, but I did end up playing the Prona inside of Dolphy's range, which kind of messed me up. But the run still worked fine, so it's fine. So you see, right here, I wasn't able to sell it, and I was perma stuck there, so I just set that one to last and used that spare one, making sure I did not put it into Dolphy's range. Because that is the one thing that messes up your run. And now once that is max, of course you're gonna get this Prona to upgrade, or pretty much second last upgrade. So it's actually hitting a decent chunk of enemies. So one more upgrade into this Prona, and just leave it how it is. And then auto upgrade Irons, and he will do the job of course, giving it 20% more range once she is in range of him. And yeah, now after wave 25 is where the RNG happens, because you do need to, of course, get lucky and not lose a single stat on Umas. And yeah, you should put, of course, the stats equally across, so they're all on the same stat level. But yeah, this is where the extra RNG part comes in. You see those Eclipse Demons, if they hit the enemies, you just make to run a bit slightly harder, because of course the mobs are going to be stronger, and which is something you don't want at all. But you can see how far he is ahead, and that's because of the extra health he has. Make sure you keep a track of when you're doing your Brook buff, because it's going to be essential to your run. And yeah, I'm sure you guys can see how important the repulse, the slow, and the stun is in terms of keeping these enemies at this spot, you know. And it allows Doflamingo to just do a lot of damage to them. And of course the humans as well. And you want to make sure that, of course, you don't place your Prona within Dofi's range, because once it does, you just can't set it all. So be wary of that one. And yeah, around wave 34-ish, you could wait a bit longer until there's more mobs, but I did take the safe play. And around this point, you're going to be spearing the enemies. So these enemies are losing 15% of their max HP. And then giving their spell book, of course, back to your Doflamingo, the one that's furthest away. And you can see by doing this, you can see a lot of the leaks just get taken care of. And there's a lot less leaks. And you can see it's basically little to no leaks. And you will have your, of course, humans maxed out. And if you compare this to the initial strat, you will see there was a lot more leaks at this point. So you use your Brook ability just to freeze them, and you can see they get frozen, so it helps a bit in terms of stalling as well. And yeah, from this point, you're trying to keep stalling with your Prona, making sure that any enemy that has just no slow effect, you just keep stalling, slowing them. And you can do your Uma stats here. Once you do it here, you don't have to do it at all. And yeah, now it's just here. It's just about stalling these enemies as much as possible. You can forget about your Uma, you can forget about your Brook, and you just keep stalling them non-stop. And yeah, this is the one thing you need to be wary of as well. You know, make sure that you don't place your Prona within Dolphy's range. And you make sure you don't put, of course, you make sure that Eclipse Demons don't touch the thingy, the enemies, because one Eclipse Demon hitting them buffs the HP a lot. So make sure you stop these Eclipse Demons as much as possible. You can't give them a single chance to get anywhere near your thingy. And yeah, you just keep stalling them. That's all you have to do, you know. So you can see I'm utilizing the upgrade just to maximize the slow effect. So she can attack a lot of times. It's just about stalling these guys as much as possible. And I probably did get my Astolfo spear back, which probably would have helped me a lot, so I could have used that as well. But you can see against this boss with a lot of HP, it's not really doing the trick. So if you do end up using your spear, you'll use it at wave 42 hitting the mobs in front, wave 41ish. And then these mobs in front of the boss will of course be a lot weaker and probably be dead by now. But yeah, it's just about stalling as much as possible. You can see we're already at 2,800, you know. We would have been dead by now already. And yeah, you just keep doing this just so you're hitting more mobs instead of like smaller targets. And yeah, you just keep stalling, keep stalling, keep stalling. And somehow my prawn went invisible and went underneath the map, but it's fine. And if you do things correctly, you should only that to the boss. And there was one instance here where I kind of messed up. At this wave right now, I should have turned auto skip off, so if I was you guys, I'd advise you guys to turn it off. I'll probably put it at the top left of the screen, so you guys know as well. Yeah, I give the boss a lot of room to sprint in, so it kind of messed up my run. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the strat. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.